Hey guys, I'm David. Welcome to the Weird Kid Show. I'm happy to see you here today. So, it's time to build a 1/1 scale figure again, okay? The last one I built was Dr. Morbius over here, the Plague Doctor. I had a lot of fun with that, but as of late, I've been doing a lot of these smaller tabletop builds. I figured, you know what, it's time to go big again, alright? So that's where we're going. And what am I going to do? I'm going to make a 1/1 scale forest creature, okay? And I used this mask, okay? Let me tell you something, guys. I've shot a lot of videos for the Weird Kid Show, and every once in a while, periodically, there'll be a corrupt file or audio issues. Anyways, I got this whole thing shot, and I sat down to edit it, and I discovered this. I saw that, and I was like, but it's okay. It happens. You just gotta pick up and move on, alright? Just make the best of it. So I'm gonna have to explain to you what you missed, and then we're gonna go into those clips that weren't corrupt, okay? But first, I need your help, please. I need your help. I need you guys to vote, okay? So, this is going to be the head of that 1/1 scale creature, and I think I'll make him about 6 feet tall, okay? He's gonna have robes and everything else, but he's gonna have these feet. All right, I got these at, I think, Home Depot last year, and it was part of like a groundbreaker thing. Feet sticking up out of the ground, the hands and the head, that was it. And they're good sized feet, okay? I'm gonna do some wraps and put some burlap leg wraps and all kinds of other groovy stuff on there. But we're all set with the feet. I'm also gonna use this, cut a hole here and here, and I'm gonna mount the pipe for his legs in there, and then it's gonna give us a chance to put some rebar and anchor him to the ground if we need to put him outside. But that's not what I need your help with. What I need your help with is deciding what I'm going to use for the hands, okay? These are the hands from the groundbreaker, okay? Now we could use these. They're super exaggerated, all right, but they're gnarly. They got some pretty gnarly claws on them, and being a forest creature, that could work, all right? Option 2 is the run-of-the-mill dollar store skeleton hands. You get these at Dollar Tree. And people, when you go to the Dollar Tree and you see the box of these, there is a left and right hand. There is. You gotta look through there and match them up. People go in there and are like, oh, you know, skeleton hands, and they're throwing them in their cars. And next thing you know, you go in there and there's only a bunch of left hands left, okay? There are pairs, okay? Look for them closely. Anyways, I have a pair of these because I was lucky enough to pick up one that somebody missed. Anyways, we could use these, okay? Being that they're skeleton hands, it might translate well with this too. You know, so I'm going to leave that up to you. Vote either the exaggerated hands, creepy, long fingers, or the Dollar Tree skeleton hands. Now, no matter which option we go with, they are going to be heated up and manipulated because I want to give this guy a staff. Alright? But, let's talk about that mask. Let's talk about that lost footage, okay? I got this mask at Walmart. Okay? And it didn't look like this. It was just white plastic. I'm going to see if I can find a picture I can share with you guys. And it's got movable jaws. You put the mask on, it's got some sponges. You're supposed to be able to move your mask and the jaw bounces up and down. You'll be able to talk with it. Anyways, I thought it was cool. And me, I look at something just like the other guys in the trio of terror. We look at something and we see it beyond what it actually is. And I said, you know what? That would make for a cool woodland creature. So I grabbed it up, okay? So here I'm going to explain to you what I had to do. And then we're going to transition into the footage that wasn't corrupted. We're going to check on these things a little, keep a closer eye on this next time. Okay, so we got the mask. What first thing that I did was, this is all the spill off excess great stuff foam that I use to fill other projects. In fact, this is leftover foam from when I made the alien wreath, okay? And I never throw that stuff away because it comes in handy for stuff like this. Alright, rather than trying to seal this thing and foam fill the whole thing, what I do is I'll take that foam and I'll slice it into thin strips and then glue the texture side inside around the holes. That's how I plugged all the holes. I did the nasal cavities, there's some in the mouth, okay? And it leaves this cool texture. I like it, okay? But I spray painted it black before I did that, and then I glued it all in there. Then I had these, then I painted the whole thing black as a primer coat, okay? And then I had these glass cabochon eyes, and I set them where I wanted them and then traced around the eye with a razor knife, and then took out some of that foam to recess it in there. And then I was able to take some watered down acrylic red and go around the outside circumference of the eyeball, give it some like bloodshot, make it look a little bit more organic. Now we're talking about acrylic and glass cabochons. Acrylic and glass, forget about it, okay? You can just, with your fingernails, scratch it off. So it's not gonna last, so what I ended up having to do, you could take clear resin to seal it. What in my case I used clear fingernail polish, okay, as a base. Now let's face it, he is supposed to stay like this. People aren't supposed to be going up there and messing with his eyes. Any prop you make, at some point in time, you're going to need to refurbish or touch up or whatever. So that's not a bad thing. He'll stay like this for a long time. All right, so we see we're going to use this head. All right, and I got it on there. Okay. So we're going to jump into the rest of this video, guys, and thank you for watching. Okay, guys, this is what we got. Alright, so this is what it looks like inside. It's not pretty at all, but it doesn't have to be. It's going to be hidden. We're going to be putting it on this, alright? The whole purpose is that you can't see now. It's plugged all the holes. Plus, I kind of like that texture, you know? Like, this is a living skeleton, and it's got fascia and tissue inside the skull, where we're going to put some eyes. Now, I decided on a red glass cabochon. I think it'll really make this thing pop. And thinking of putting it in like this area here. I'm going to play around with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a position for it. Alright. And then I'm going to push it in to leave an indentation. And I'm just going to cut away a little bit of the foam so that I can recess this into the foam. And then I'll glue it in place. Alright, and I might even go as far as to see how it will work if I made a red wash to go around the outside of the eyeball to give it like some red and some blood vessels. But being glass, it'll come off, the acrylics will come off real easy. So once I'm done painting and it's dried, I'm really going to need to coat that with some protective coating. And there's no reason to be touching the eyes anyways after. Okay, once this thing's done and it's standing up, there's no reason to be touching the eye. So if it's something that needs to be touched up eventually because it's got bumped and scratched a little bit, then so be it. It's you know, props over time need maintenance anyways and revamping. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those eyes in. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about painting this thing. So hang tight. We're getting there. So everything's been filled in, painted, and where there was little cracks and crevices, I just filled them in with hot glue. Paint's still wet, so that's why it looks a bit shiny. And then I put those eyeballs, those glass cabochons, against the foam, positioned them where I wanted them, and then just kind of took a razor knife, a little X-Acto knife, and then traced around it. That way I knew where to cut. And then I recessed them in, hold them in place with hot glue. Okay, and then I took some This is a multi-surface apple barrel product, candy apple, red, and I watered it down and then went around the outsides of the whites of the eyes. Okay, and because it is an acrylic and it's glass eyes, I had to take just some clear fingernail polish, and went over the top of it just to give it some added protection for one, and to give it more of a wet, organic, lifelike look. Okay, so this is what he's looking like so far. Okay, mouth's all enclosed in the nasal cavities and everything, and he's going to be a hulking creature. Okay, now you're looking at it probably saying, okay, well, we got straps visible here and there's a white head and everything. Well, I can already tell you that we're going to incorporate this wig into this build. Okay, and he is going to be about 6 feet tall, so he's going to be a menacing creature when he's done. So maybe this visualization will help you guys decide which hands to vote for, which hands you think would best suit him. But we're not done. We're going to, first of all, I wanted to point out, we're going to wait on the wig. Okay, why am I going to wait on the wig? Well, I'm going to wait on the wig because one of the last things I do once we get this figure together and we're ready to permanently mount the head, one of the last things that I'm going to do is I'm going to soak that wig in a mixture of water and glue, white glue, and put it on wet, and that way you can permanently position. I want it to look wet and scraggly and dirty, you know, like they don't go to the hair salon, you know, they don't use care products. So, and then it would enable me to put some beads and feathers and just kind of adorn this guy in a primitive, cultish attire. Okay, I'm excited about it. This is where I start to get excited. Okay, but we're not done with this thing. I gotta paint this thing. All right, we got to make this more look more skull-like. He's not going to be black. So what I'm going to use is it's a territorial beige. I'm going to go ahead and dry brush that on there. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix in some antique white and then do another dry brush, and then we'll take a look at it, and we should be done with the head. Which would be part one of this video. Part two is where we start getting into building the figure itself. Okay, it could end up being a 3-part series because I also want to do a nice staff for him and everything. We're going to get him, this guy's going to be positioned. I'm going to show you how you can stand him up in the yard, what we can do for that. So this is going to be a labor intensive build, but it's going to be fun. So part one, the head, I'm going to go ahead start painting this thing. So hang tight. Alright guys, here he is. He is done for the most part. The wig, I just attached it pretty much how it's going to go. But I'm not going to do anything with it until, like I said, at the end. Alright, so there he is. He's all done. He's painted. Now what I did was, like I told you, I used some of that territorial beige. Okay, and I dry brushed it because I had that black primer underneath. We still want to utilize that, so I went ahead and dry brushed it, the territorial beige, to cover it. And then what I did was I just started adding antique white, and then not too much, but to make it a few shades lighter, and then did another fine dry brush, and then I worked my way down to an off-white. It wasn't white by itself, it was still mixed in with the, so there was like 4 layers, different shades of the beige up to an almost white, off-white, and so there you go. I think he pops. I hope you guys like him, and that's something that you can do too. Now there's a lot of these kind of skulls out there. I've seen some other ones out there, different ones, wolf ones. This is, I guess it's supposed to be a goat. But you can use different kinds, and this is what he's going to be. So he's going to be this forest creature. He's going to be about 6 feet tall. He's going to be holding a staff with robes and all this and that. I can't wait to get going on that. I hope you like him, and I hope that this helps you to go out there and grab one of those masks at Walmart and turn it into something cool for little to no money. These were pretty cheap. I can't remember. I think this was about 10 bucks. Okay, the wig was literally $2 at a thrift store, not a Goodwill. Goodwill charges around $5 around here for wigs, but at this particular thrift shop I visited, it was only $2. So I've got $12 in this now. $5 for the styrofoam head. It's not too bad. Okay, he's gonna be I think he's gonna be pretty cool. All right, so please like and subscribe and hit the bell, okay, especially in this case, because it's going to notify you when I upload part 2 and part 3 if there is one. And if you haven't done so, check out my brothers. They're building all the time too. The Trio of Terror, which is myself, Vic Springston from Monster Misfits, and Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks. Between the three of us, we make up the Trio of Terror. And they're always building, so every week you can pretty much expect something from one of us, you know. Anyways, I hope you like this, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until next time, peace.